Hello everyone, it is Unapologetically Political coming to you with this week's Senate prediction. So, this isn't based off polling or anything. This is just my opinions on who's going to win and who's likely going to win. FYI, I'm not a professional. I do not know everyone's name. But let's go ahead and fill in the map, because let's go over again how Democrats do not have a good situation. Montana, Republican. Idaho, Republican. Wyoming, Republican. South Dakota, Republican. Nebraska, Republican. Kansas, Republican. Oklahoma, Republican. Texas, Republican. Arkansas, Republican. Please move, cat. Sorry, cat's on my desk. Louisiana, Republican. Mississippi. Alabama. Actually, no, that's Mississippi. What's that one? Who cares? Not Georgia. Hold up. Georgia's a toss-up. My bad. Then it's Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Iowa. Let's not forget Alaska, Florida, South Carolina, and Maine, and lean New Hampshire. Excuse me. Sorry, having throat problems today. Sorry. Now let's fill in the Democrats. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make this a toss-up real quick. Whoops. There we go. So, right off the bat, Republicans start off with 52 Senate seats and 44, and Democrats start off with 44. Democrats don't have a good bench at the moment. Well, whoops. Sorry, guys. For some reason, Michigan is Democrat. It's not supposed to be Democrat. There we go. 43, not 44. Gosh, I am sorry. So, my opinion. Mike Rogers is going to win Michigan by a lean margin. Whoops. Lean margin. Also forgot Virginia. Dang it. Now it is 43. 44. Blech. Gosh, I'm tired. Sorry, guys. Alright. Georgia. This moment. Actually, no. At this moment, it's going to be toss-up. Just because we don't know who the Republican candidate's going to be, I cannot accurately gauge or state my opinion on who's going to win it. North Carolina. Alright. Actually, let's get New Hampshire out of the way. John Sununu is thinking of running. If he does run, it's going to be a lean Republican. It's just guaranteed, pretty much. The Sununu family is very loved in New Hampshire. So, yeah, it's just going to be that way. Now, North Carolina. Okay, in my previous video, I said at this point, it was, I think I said lean Democrat, about 3 points Democrat, for Roy Cooper, the former governor. But right now, I think with this whole Charlotte incident, and the fact that Roy Cooper might have been one of the people who released this guy, I think it's going to go Tilt Whatley at this point. I think it went from likely D to Tilt Whatley. Now, the polls don't show that because the polls are always behind. But that's my opinion. A lot of people are pissed off about this whole Charlotte thing. Democrats are in an absolute, just horrible position trying to figure out how do we spin this to our thing. They've come out with the idea that body cam footage is a MAGA idea, and that it's evil, and that is racist, and blah, 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 all stupidness. When in reality, body cams were actually a leftist idea because they wanted to end the racism. So they wanted to make sure cops were held accountable and had their body cams on. Well, guess what? Now they're all of a sudden against it. Now they're being hypocrites and like, well, it was actually MAGA's idea. No, it was a bipartisan issue. Everyone agreed. cops should have body cams. It was 100% across the board. Everyone agreed. And now they want to get rid of it because cameras are all of a sudden racist. I don't know. That's their messaging at this moment. I think this is going to hurt Roy Cooper a lot, like a lot. And I genuinely do not see him winning this anymore because Whatley and the North Carolina GOP are already capitalizing on this and are already pushing that the Democrats are the pro-crime party, which in all seriousness they are. They refuse to enforce their laws. They refuse to arrest people. Okay? This guy who murdered that woman in Charlotte, he was arrested 14 times. 14 times. And you want to know what happened? You want to know what happened? He was let out again. No bail. And he stabbed an innocent woman to death. He stabbed her to death. In a train. Innocent woman. An absolutely innocent woman who did not deserve to die. This is pathetic. And the Democrats are doing nothing. They refuse to address the issue. Just now, one of the major Democrats, I think it might have been AOC. Actually, no, it was Zoran. It was Zoran Modani. Ma'am Danny. It was Zoran Ma'am Danny. He proposed letting out 60% of the prisoners in New York. Letting them out of jail. Because they were unjustly put in jail. Were a couple of them? Maybe. Sure. I'll give him that. But 60%? He wants to turn what's happening in Chicago, he wants to turn New York into Chicago. He wants to turn New York into Chicago. It baffles my mind how Democrats vote for pro-crime candidates. I remember when AOC said the way we decrease the amount of prisoners is we build less jails. I remember that. That was the most retarded take I've ever heard from a Democrat. You want to know how we have less prisoners? You want to know how we make crime lower? We build less jails. Are you dumb? We build more jails. We build more jails. Plain and simple. That way, the more people we arrest, the less crime is being committed because they're in prison. It's so stupid. So incredibly stupid. The Democrats have become the pro-crime party because enforcing the law is racist now for whatever reason. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Because of this, I genuinely think this is going to affect the Virginia race. This is going to affect the New Hampshire race this year. That'll be a separate video, but I'm going to be talking about that. I do think it's going to affect it, and I think it's going to affect it a lot. But Georgia, let's go off of North Carolina and let's go to Georgia. All right, I've covered it before, but Ossoff is not a strong candidate. He isn't. He barely won, and his own people want him out of the Senate. His own Jewish community will not vote for him. They wanted Kemp to run, a Republican, Governor Kemp. They would rather vote for a Republican than vote for him. If your own people refuse to vote for you, you are not a strong candidate. I'm sorry. Nothing you say to me is going to change my mind that you are a strong candidate. If your own community, your own minority refuses to vote for you, you're not a strong candidate. So, you know what? I'm going to take back my statement from earlier. I'm going to say this is tilt Republican. Okay? This is absurd. This crime debate, this crime issue is going to destroy Democrats. If Republicans manage to successfully pin Democrats as the pro-crime party, which they are, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? People in droves are going to punish the Democrats and vote to destroy them. They're not going to vote. They might not vote Republican, but they'll vote third party just to prove a point that no one wants to be a Democrat anymore. Democrats are not winning the midterms. If they do, it's barely winning the House. Barely. I mean by like maybe 2 seats. I don't even think 10 seats. I think barely they hold on with 2. Democrats are losing all across the country. They need to improve their messaging. I hate the fact that there is a pro-crime party in this country. Like, for crying out loud, get rid of the crime already. Get rid of it. It's stupid. This should be a bipartisan issue. This should be Republicans and Democrats wanting to throw these people in jail. But no, that's racist. That's racist. We can't throw those people in jail because that's racist. We can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? They broke the law. Who cares what their skin tone is? I don't care if it's a white person. I don't care if it's a black person. You throw them in jail. Well, no, that's racist because most of the people committing crimes in this country are black, and so it'd be disproportionately black people in prison. Who cares? If they break the law, they break the law. Why is this a debate? If they break the law, they go to prison. It is that simple. 60% of the homicides done in this country are done by 12% of the population. You want to know what that 12% is? It's African Americans. I have nothing against African Americans. But there is a serious issue when it comes to their crime rates. They love murder. They do. They love it. And it mostly has to do with the fact that they don't have dads. That most of their dads leave them and don't teach them right. You want to know the funniest thing? Alright, this is a good example of what I'm talking about. Dave Chappelle, black African-American comedian. Democrat. Okay, he is a Democrat. He voted for Hillary. I don't think he voted for Kamala. I think he sat that election out. But he voted for Hillary. He did all that. And he lives in a white neighborhood in Ohio. And people have asked him, why don't you live in a black neighborhood? And he's like, because black neighborhoods shoot each other. Because people are robbed in black neighborhoods. Because they don't enforce the law in black neighborhoods. Because white neighborhoods are safe. Because in white neighborhoods, your neighbors won't shoot you. We need to fix this. This shouldn't be a race issue. This should be, if you break the law, you go to prison. No debate. You have a trial. You try to prove your innocence. If you don't prove your innocence, you go straight to jail. Plain and simple. Who gives a crap what your skin tone is? You broke the law. Who cares? Who frickin' cares? I don't. I don't care what your political ideology is. I don't care what your skin tone is. If you break the law, you go to jail. That is the most anti-racist policy ever. If it's mostly black people, then it's mostly black people. It's just a cold, hard fact. I'm a realist, not a racist. If they break the law, that's their own fault. This is going to hurt Dems a ton in the midterms and in this year's elections. 1,000%. Because it has made people like me pissed off. It has made people like me, someone who normally doesn't care about off-year elections. I really, most of the time, only care about the presidency. But for the first time ever, I really want to vote in the midterms. I'll be out of town in the midterms. I don't know if I'll be able to vote in the midterms, but I'm going to ask for an absentee ballot just to prove a point to the Democrats that they lost a voter forever for the fact that they push this BS. People need to stop dying. I don't care how we do it. If we manage to save the lives of everyone in those cities by sending in the National Guard, then send in the freaking National Guard. I don't care anymore. People are dying. Thousands of people are dying. Save them. Goodness gracious, North Carolina has a Democrat governor. Okay? If he wants bipartisan support in his next election, all he needs to do is call for the National Guard himself and fix the problem himself. But is he going to do that? No, because Trump is doing that. Therefore, he hates it. At least Trump is trying to do something. I'm sorry, this was not meant to be another rant video. This was meant to be a Senate video. But this is my prediction. 44 for the Democrats, 56 for the Republicans. I do not see them winning the Senate. Not at all. In fact, I see Republicans gaining significantly in the Senate. The only seat, in my opinion, that might go blue, this is a very small percentage, maybe a 5% chance it goes blue, is Maine. And even then, Republicans still have a 10-seat majority. They have a 5-seat lead. They are 10 seats ahead of Democrats, and they have 5 seats in the lead. They still gained. They gained 2. They went from 53 to 55. And I seriously think Maine is going to go Republican. It's not going to be by that margin. It's probably more going to be like that. More like that, actually. But still, Democrats aren't winning the Senate. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Plain and simple. Democrats are not going to win the Senate. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you. I really need to push home, though, that Democrats cannot get their hopes up. They need to get better messaging. They need to get better funding. They are broke. They have no money. They need better funding. They need better funding. They need better messaging. They need something. But every issue, they take the 20% over the 80%. Instead of going, hey, maybe let's try to make it a 50-50 issue. No, what they do is they take the side of the 20% of the whack jobs, and they leave the rest of the country, the 80%, to go, screw you, we're voting Republican. Democrats are not winning. I seriously think the House is now 60-40 because of this crime issue. I think Republicans are going to win the House. I do. I think they're going to manage to hold on. So, thank you all for watching. This has been my midterm prediction of the week. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios.